What is going on, guys? My name is Anson and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be doing a remake of my one of my very first YouTube tutorials on Discord, Discord bots I should say, because there were definitely a lot of things that I felt like I left out on, and I do want to kind of go in depth on how certain things work, because there were some questions. Anyway, so before we even get started, make sure you have your environment set up, make sure you've installed Node.js, make sure you've installed the Discord.js module, make sure you have a text editor, make sure you've created your bot, and if you've done all of those things, then we're all good to go. The next thing we need to do is make sure, well, first of all, you want to make sure your bot is on your server. So I have my bot over here. It's offline right now because it's, we haven't written any code for it yet. So then you want to authorize it and get your bot token. So I have my token right over here. So I'm going to just create a variable called token. It's going to be a constant because I don't want it to change at all, or I don't want to accidentally change the value of it. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do when writing the code is I'm going to go ahead and create a constant variable called Discord, and I'm going to basically import or require the Discord.js module, and you do so by just typing in const Discord equals require Discord.js. Okay, now I'm going to create a client variable, also a constant, and I'm going to say new Discord.client. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying, okay, well, Discord is the module, and client is a module inside, client is a class inside the module. Now, the great thing about Discord.js is that it's object-oriented, which is really cool. Okay, so you can see client extends event emitter. So client is going to basically respond to a bunch of events, and that's what we're going to do today to have the user respond to messages. Okay, I don't know if I've mentioned it in the beginning, but I'm going to mention it now in case if I didn't. But the whole goal today is we're going to get the bot to respond to user messages. Okay, so now that I've instantiated the client, let's see. So I think we're all good for now. Alright, cool. So now let's start playing around with the client variable, or the client class. So I'm going to say, okay, client on, so on an event. Alright, now let's look at the documentation, because I want to show you guys how you guys can actually read this documentation. So over here, the event, right? Basically, an event is triggered when something happens, right? I got it backwards. When something happens, right? Let's say we send a message, that will trigger an event called the message event. If we create a channel, right, that'll trigger the channel create event, right? So basically, every time you do something on Discord, it'll trigger some event, right? Now there isn't an event for every single case, but most of the cases do exist, right? In this case, we're only going to pay attention to the message event. Okay, so it says emitted whenever a message is created. Okay, and it takes in a parameter. Of type message. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass in the message event, right? So on the message event, we're going to have a callback function. Okay, this is our callback function right over here. We're going to execute some code or whatever, right? We're just using an arrow function to do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and just show a simple response. So on a message event, so any message that a user sends, right, any message, the first thing we need to make sure that we check is we want to check if the user is a bot, because we don't want the messages, so we basically don't want to respond to the bot's messages, because otherwise it's going to, spam the whole server. I'll actually show you what I mean. So let's go to here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so we have this message parameter. Okay, it's of type message, so let's actually take a look at it. I don't want to do things and have you guys be confused. I want to show you guys where I'm getting all these properties. So if I click on this message type, message is a class, and it has all of these properties and all of these methods, right? So what we want to do is if I go on my Discord server over here, and if I send a message and I say hello, I want the bot to respond to the correct channel, right? We obviously don't want to. So let's say if I create another channel and I say test, I want the bot to respond to the right channel, not this channel. I want the bot to respond to the channel where I sent the message. So the way we do that, so message has a property called channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and reference that. So we do message dot channel. Okay, now we're in the right channel where the message was sent in, and there's 3 types of channels. You only have to worry about text channel for now. So you can go ahead and click on text channel and see what methods you can do. Now you can see there's a bunch of different types of methods that you can use, right? The one method that we're going to look at right now is send. Send message is deprecated, which means it used to exist, but it no longer does. So you don't want to use it. Well, you can't use it. It doesn't exist anymore in the new versions. So you want to use the method send. If you click on it, what does it say? Send a message to this channel. And both of these are optional. You don't have to pass in any of these, but like I said, it wouldn't make sense not to. So the one that we should at least pass in is the content, which is basically a string resolvable, which is just text for the message. That's all it is. Okay, I know I'm saying all of these, parameters, like these crazy words and stuff. Don't worry about it. It's literally just text for a message. Okay, so this is a string. Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey there, you've triggered the message event. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our bot. We do that by typing node. Actually, I got a CD into my desktop, and we say node, the name of the bot. I'm sorry, the name of the JavaScript file, which is bot, and .js. Okay, so actually, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to use the ready event. So this way, let me show you what this does. So we're gonna go back to the client to take a look at the. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this documentation, it's not because like I don't know this stuff. Like I know this stuff. It's just like I want you guys to be able to actually see what I'm referencing, see where I'm getting this information from. Okay, and documentation, like the Discord JS documentation, is, in my opinion, is really well documented. So you literally do not lose out on anything. And you can also join the Discord JS server that the admins or like the developers of the module created, and you can always ask questions on there. Anyway, so we're gonna look at the ready event, which does not take in a parameter. Okay, but it basically is just emitted when the client becomes ready to start working. So all that means is whenever the bot is logged in, it just means it's just going to trigger the ready event. That's all it does. So nothing too complicated, and I'll show you exactly what it does. So ideally, when the bot is ready, you kind of want to do some stuff. So if you want to like do some backend stuff or whatever, things that should happen before the server is started up, you can go ahead and do so. I'm just going to say console.log the bot is logged in, and you can go ahead and print out information about the client, I guess. So I can go ahead and do stuff like, let's say client has properties like what the guilds that it's in, the client token, the users, whatever. You guys get the idea. Okay, so our bot was logged in. Actually, wait a minute. Why is that not working? That is... Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually did not log in the bot. That's one thing that we got to do. That's the very first thing we got to do. I didn't log in the bot. Okay. So yes. So client, right? We got to log in. The method's right over here, and it literally just logs in the bot. That's all it does. So client, I'll do that right over here. I want to keep my code nice and clean. So client.login, you're going to pass in the token as a string, which is right over here. So I'm going to do that right over here like that. And it returns a promise. So you can do this you can do like error checking stuff. Anyways, so now that we're actually logged in, okay, cool. So the bot is now logged in. You can see that our bot is now online. Let's go ahead and type in a message. Hello. So now, remember how I mentioned earlier that we need to always check to see if the message was sent from a bot? The reason why is because what's going to happen is the bot is going to send a message, and that is also, basically the bot's message is going to trigger itself to do that same, trigger, it's going to trigger that event over and over again. So it's actually going to spam up your entire server. So what we do is we say if message.author.bot, it returns a Boolean value. So I'll go ahead and show you guys where I'm getting this from. Like I said, message.author, the author of the message, user. Right, so actually let me backtrack a little bit. So let's go into the message class. Okay. Message has a property called author. okay? And author's type is a user type, okay? Let's click on this and let's see what methods and properties we have. So let's see, the user class has a property called bot, which returns a boolean to indicate whether the user is a bot or not. So basically it says if it's a bot, I'm just going to return, and if it isn't, we're just going to do this stuff. So none of this stuff will happen if this is true, okay? So let me go ahead and restart the bot. The bot is now logged in. Let's say hello, and you'll see that it's no longer spamming the entire server. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long. I'm gonna make a second part. So hopefully this made some sense. Hopefully this showed you guys how to log in your bot. This showed you guys how message events and how the ready event works. So in the next video, I'm gonna do some more cool stuff with the message event. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.